come and take a walk with me. And don't worry, I already walked my dog in the real world, but it is absolutely freezing outside still, so on principle, walk a mile with me and let's chat. Welcome back. I am Kat Weston, for those of you who do not know me, and I am just going to continue for the time being sharing and expanding on the things that I have learned from being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis over the last 11 and a half years. The topic I wanted to touch on today is a bit of a sensitive one, but it's one that is ever present in my mind, at least in my daily life. And that comes down to MS and depression. And quite frankly, just depression in general, because I'm now in the camp where I've stopped blaming my MS for all of the things that are wrong with me. And instead, I take on the mindset to take accountability for when I'm just being a turd or just falling off this walking pad. But I wanted to come on here and say that it's okay to have mood swings. Whether you have MS or not, it's okay as long as you are accountable for said mood swings. With that in mind, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. We're all human. Everyone's messy. And that's the human experience. That's the beautiful part of life, is that it doesn't look like a finished Monet, which I have on the wall behind me. But it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be photograph ready or anything in between. It's why I'm actually kind of enjoying this phase of this channel and being legitimate and raw and messy and recording on my iPhone SE that's always yelling at me that the battery is being deprecated slowly but surely, because this still has a fingerprint. That's how much I don't like updating my technology. Shout out to my 2007 iPod Nano, that still works. I digress. Coming back to the whole thing, and the whole reason that we're here walking and talking together is that it's okay to feel sad sometimes. As Mr. Rogers would say, it's okay to feel sad sometimes. And there's nothing wrong with it. Feel all of your feelings. It would be irrational to expect anyone to be high vibe or ultra positive all the time. That's not real. That's a social media reel, everybody. And it's one of the reasons that I created my Instagram in the first place, and why I'm starting this here is to add a bit more authenticity and realism to the picture and show that things aren't perfect. They don't have to be carved out, clear cut. I know in my last video I said I promised I would actually plan these out. This is completely unplanned. I was just driving home from the vet, got stuck in traffic, smiled the whole time because I was like, hey, it's after 5 p.m. now. I'm not expected to be back online. C'est la vie. And I was just thinking about it. And that response to that traffic jam, I was reflecting back to the days I still lived on Long Island. I was still living with my parents at the time. I worked 6 miles from home, and it would take me 2 to 2.5 hours every day to get home. And I just remember being behind the wheel, just like furious and raging and just, I couldn't stand it. I had such crazy anger issues. I think it also runs in my family's blood. But just, I was always here. Always, no matter what time of day. Even back in those days, I was still like obnoxiously positive the same way that I am now, because this is post-diagnosis, and I kind of just grabbed life by the sunny horns and was like, laugh or cry. So I've always kind of been this way, but with so much hostility and anger still in me, where now, the traffic in Virginia is jokes in comparison to New York, so it's one of those things. But also, why waste time feeling the rage and then projecting it onto other people? That's the point I'm getting at here, is that every emotion has a seat at the table. Everything is welcome here. All of your feelings at all times are valid. But take that additional 30 seconds to pause before responding to someone from that reaction. I've been doing a lot of research recently on reacting versus responding. And in the last at least year that I have been expanding my spiritual journey and meditating and finding Zen, honestly, I have experienced even less symptoms than ever before. I feel tremendously awesome all the time. And I really think because everything is energy, it matters. I really truly feel like whether or not you think it's possible for you to heal, I think anything's possible, and I believe in miracles. And I start every morning by saying, today is going to be a great day. Something wonderful is going to happen for me today. I believe in miracles. You can laugh at me all you want, call me delusional, hokey, whatever. I don't care, because I truly believe it. And the energy that we choose to cultivate within ourselves and project into the world, it's powerful. That is where our individual power lies. So bringing it back to where this started, as I slowly get winded on this walk with you, because I don't tend to walk and talk very much. I don't even call my family or my best friend who lives very far away from me for the fact that I'm gonna get winded. So again, real and raw. It is one of these things, and I've written many a blog for the MS Society over the last couple of years, whether I was being contracted by them to write the blogs. I do it for free occasionally now, but you can find excerpts from me on there. I've spoken about this in my own blog, shameless plug, go read it at Chronically Joyful. I'll probably do a video on this too in more depth. This one is just a light touch on the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde effect, where 1 minute you could just be jiving, moving, and grooving through your day, having the ultimate best of times, and suddenly out of nowhere, say a stranger bumps into you in the hallway at work, doesn't say excuse me, doesn't pay you any mind. Are you gonna let that throw off the entire kilter of your day? Or are you just gonna go, that was a little rude, and keep going? It's those moments I'm realizing that matter so much, and why I'm so obnoxiously optimistic all the time, because it's now I realize nothing can throw me off balance except potentially literally going off balance on this walking pad right now. It's mind over matter. And it sounds hokey and generic and whatever, live, laugh, love on the posters. I don't care. And that is simply for the fact that it has made such a vast difference in my life personally and the lives of the wonderful friends I've made in this community. It makes a difference. So all of this 8.5 minute video, let's see how far we've gone. How far have we gone? Oh, at 1.6 speed. 0.2 miles in 8 minutes. I will set the intention to do a full mile. That's gonna be a little bit faster, and I'm gonna have to get my cardio up to be able to do this. However, all of this to say, almost 9 minutes later, really pause before you react to anything. Because MS, other chronic illnesses, life in general, chemical imbalances, the ways of the world we live in, there's so much to hold inward that is so deeply negative and unfortunate. And it comes down to your decision on whether or not you're gonna let that affect you. Because from experience over the last, I'm just gonna say 5 years, the vast difference in my darkest hour in 2024 to today, which I would call a pretty bright time in my life, I think I'm coming into, what a difference it makes. Where I used to be completely consumed by my Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde mood swings, like that. It was that fast. At the time, I was living with someone I would walk in and be like, hey, what do you want for dinner? You want some garlic in that? Nice. It would be less than a minute later, I would walk back into the same room like a light switch and just start screaming, I want to kill myself. I'm depressed. I want to die. He took it with a grain of salt. Bless you, Doug. But unacceptable, not only for the people around you, but also for yourself, where no matter what you're experiencing, no matter what your diagnosis is on paper, how horrific things really look, it comes down to your response and how you are going to manage it moving forward. Make that choice to take your little shadow person. I named my shadow, his name is Jecht, after a Final Fantasy X character from PlayStation 2. Old school technology again. I'm a nerd. And Jecht has a seat at my table. So those days where I'm feeling limerent, I am gloomy, I am just down on myself all around, I now sit with Jecht and I say, what are you trying to show me? How can I use this and transmute the energy to make something better? And that makes all the difference. And is why I'm able to slowly but surely walk and talk with you today without a mobility aid. I do have a desk here in case I do try to fly off this. But I've never had to use my mobility aids aside from maybe 2 weeks of the last 11 and a half years. I attribute so much of that success to my mindset and just not toxically positive. I do want to throw that disclaimer in here. Don't erase how you're feeling. Don't discredit yourself. Don't gaslight yourself. Don't say, I shouldn't feel like this. I should stay high vibe. No, absolutely not. There is room for every emotion, even the crummy ones, especially the crummy ones. Those are the moments that you're going to learn and you're going to grow. Let them through. Feel everything big. I'm a Leo. I feel everything huge. Feel it. Let yourself feel it. But then let it pass. Don't internalize it. Don't make that a part of who you are at your core being. Let those moments pass. Thank them. Wave goodbye. And then keep moving forward. So that is the message I very quickly wanted to come on today and share, where I started feeling really funky in the car and I was reflecting and just, I'm not going in order here of like, here's my diagnosis journey and here's the next phase of that. No, I'm going to talk about things that are relevant. I will go back to the diagnosis journey, I promise. But perhaps this is the first in a series of short clips where if you're walking faster than me at 13 and a half minutes, you made it a mile. Very much inspired by Jessica Smith's TV. I'll throw her in the description. That woman's changed my life. But thank you for walking and talking with me about the harder subjects when it comes to, I'm not even gonna say chronic illness, I'm gonna say life. Everybody gets sad. Everybody gets depressed. You're not alone. And it's not abnormal. It's okay that you're feeling that way if you are. But it's more important to focus on that next step. So I send you all light and love. I'm going to actually finish this mile at a normal walking pace. And I wish you the best of Tuesdays. Take care.